But one of the criticisms of the book, which if there were to be a criticism, is that along with everything else, the one ingredient that one does need to look and feel the way you do is money. Because, for instance, your annual sojourns to spas like Sukhya.
You don't have to go to Sukhya. You can go to a much simpler Ayurvedic or naturopathy place and do it. It doesn't require money. It does not require money. On the contrary, to go to an allopathic specialty hospital, which is all there is for Indians, it costs so much to talk about, are things that one can do very simply. So no, Sukhya is very expensive.
Yes.
But other things are not. I mean, you have Ayurvedic places all over the place. But you know, it's strange. It's very strange. We find the time to send our air conditioner or our car for servicing. And yet we don't seem to understand that there is only one thing that is really ours, and that is this. And we won't take the time. We will spend 3 weeks in hospital because we get something that could have been prevented. You know, what is this cost factor that you're looking at? I am talking of the many things we can do ourselves without anybody by not turning our body into garbage. We don't do that. We don't do that because we think with the burgeoning middle class, a burgeoning belly is necessary. And we don't understand that this really is the only temple we have. And we can't replace it. Yes, you can perhaps get an organ transplant, but it's not the same. And that organ transplant will probably put your family back a couple of generations. So what I am saying is that we ourselves can lead lifestyles and do things that keep this one possession of ours, this one thing that is me, right. Look around you. I mean, I have students at 15 who say they have knee issues because the environment is poisoning them, because they're maybe eating bad food, maybe because they're not doing any exercise, they only play video games. Parents are the same. I mean, I have seen hundreds of parents keep their 1-year-old occupied by putting a screen in front of them. Schools, at least in Gujarat, have sold off their playgrounds to real estate developers and have no playgrounds. There's no PT class. Till about 15 years ago, when students came to learn dance, we did not have to have a warm-up session because they would have already played some games. Today, I need 20 minutes of a warm-up session because the kids have not moved at all. And you give a 12-year-old kid a scooter. You know, what is going to happen? Read my book.
Say that 3 times.
Say that 3 times. You know, my mother was always thin and never had a weight problem and wasn't interested in food and ate everything that doctors tell us not to eat, which is white rice, potatoes, sugar, and white bread. And still danced till she was 92. And she was very, very irritating. And when I would go on my fad diets, she would say, Mallika, there's only one exercise that you need to do to stay thin, which is every time food is offered to you, just do. And it used to irritate the hell out of me. No, I think we haven't developed a relationship with our body and our mind. Both need talking to. Both need looking after. Both need care. And you need to make friends with it. I talk about how I talk to my body. I do, I'm a dancer. I rehearse 3 hours a day, I do yoga for an hour. I need to talk to my body because if my body doesn't like me, it's going to be a hell of an issue. And I think we have to take the time to listen to our body, it's a long process, it's not a short process, but it's the only process that will keep us well. And if one is well enough to jump out of bed every morning saying, yes, another day, there's no greater happiness. Everything else can be tackled. She, as my editor, has been at me for at least 5 years, long before I even wrote this book.
So if we fall and you wish there was more, I can tell you, picture abhi baki hai. So I think now we have time for some questions, and we can open up the floor to the audience.